Good morning and welcome to TCS Student News. I'm your host here, Claude, with my co-host here,
Masadey.
Let's get right into the news.
First up, Iran launches missiles at Syria, but the message was for the U.S., Israel, and Saudi Arabia. This started because Donald Trump withdrew from the nuclear agreement with Iran. Iran is Israel's biggest threat. In a statement released Monday, Iran's Revolutionary Guard said terrorists targeted in Syria are supported by the U.S., Israel, and Saudi Arabia. Iranian authorities have a number of tools to make sure there isn't any more terrorism. Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif has blamed regional countries and their U.S. ministers for funding and arming the separatists who are thought to be behind the Ahaz attack. The missile killed at least 24 people and wounded dozens of others. Joining the U.S. is Saudi Arabia, along with the other Gulf monarchies that view Iran as a hostile. The two are engaged in a number of proxy conflicts, including in Yemen.
In other news, the UK is sending 800 troops to the Arctic in order to deal with the rising threat of Russia. The country will be sending 800 Royal Marines and Army commandos and building a new base in Norway in order to reinforce their presence in the Arctic. British troops will work alongside Norwegian, Dutch, and American troops. Britain is doing this as a response to Russia opening up Soviet-era bases near the Arctic and increasing submarine activity within the waters. Also, with more and more ice melting, many oil hotspots are being found, further causing Russia to increase its military presence within the region. Britain is claiming they are doing this in order to monitor any threats that Russia could cause and that troops are well placed in case of an attack. Official believes that with the Arctic melting and opening up new hotspots of oil and military bases, tensions could rise back to the Cold War. We can only wait and see what happens in the Arctic.
And for our next story, Honduras president expresses U.S. aid cuts. Honduras President Juan Orlando Hernandez thinks supporting cut ties with Central America could cause difficulties such as illegal immigration. Donald Trump made a pledge to build a wall along the Mexico and U.S. border to prevent illegal immigrants. Meanwhile, China is strengthening ties with Central America. Earlier this year, Trump announced that he was going to end temporary immigration protection for thousands of Hondurans and Salvadorans living in the U.S. This is terrible that Trump wants to do this. Hernandez was asked why he would switch to China. The president gave a careful answer. Not only is their population going down, but Donald Trump is also making more enemies for the U.S.
Can fasting be the key to living a long life? Research from the Laboratory of Neurosciences at the National Institute on Aging shows that intermediate fasting can help reduce the risk of obesity and many of the diseases linked to it, such as diabetes and cancer. Other research on animals shows that rats and mice live longer when they fasted every other day than rats and mice who ate at any time. There are many forms of fasting, such as the 5-2 diet and calorie restriction, that are showing many benefits in weight loss and disease prevention. What happens during fasting is the body is changing from using its glucose to using ketones, helping you lose weight in the process. When ketones enter your bloodstream, your body begins to regenerate on a cellular level. One factor to consider when fasting is that it is meant for overweight people or those with high disease risk. It is recommended that healthy people who eat properly and exercise regularly, or pregnant women, are not to fast because there is no point to, or you will end up hurting the baby. There is still a lot of research needed to prove that fasting is a key to long life, but for now, it is a great idea in many people's heads. Now for the good stuff, let's get into TCS News. Last Thursday, we had ACIM come in again for a conversation and a delicious lunch. The president of ACIM, Ms. Kathy, and the treasurer, Ms. Stephanie, came in and talked with us a bit about their lives and how they formed ACIM. The lunch they brought in was deli sandwiches from Pastores. Everyone enjoyed the lunches and the conversation very much. We hope to see them again this year with another meaningful conversation and another delicious lunch.
Last Friday, we had a conversation with the Circle of Love. They are a group of women from this community and very important to this school. They donated food items to our pantry, such as honey buns and oatmeal cream pies. We also had a meaningful conversation with a few of their members, Miss Laura, Miss Suzanne, and Miss Cheryl. One of the many important things that we talked about were hygiene kits. Circle of Love makes hygiene kits for homeless people that do not have access to sanitary items such as shampoo and toothpaste. They helped us get a head start in making hygiene kits by donating items for it. You can stop in and donate any sanitary items for the hygiene kits anytime if you have the time and items. Thank you so much for coming in, Circle of Love. We can't wait to see you again.
In other news, we would like to honor a new student on becoming a permanent student in the community school. Jacob Cougle started the year off as a conditional student like the other new students, but with developing great habits and developing great character, he has earned the title of being a permanent student. Jacob, all of us are proud of you, and we are glad to have a student like you in the school.
Good job, Jacob. Next, we would like to thank Miss Carol, Miss Peg, Mr. Ed, Miss Rachel, Miss Gail, and Mr. Lenny for donating lunches this week. We enjoyed the lunches very much. It's people like you who keep the school running.
Next up, we would like to highlight a Baltimore hometown hero, Matthew White. Matthew White is a veteran who fought in Afghanistan. He was on patrol when he stepped on an IED and lost his right foot. He was medically retired in 2011 because of issues he was going through. On Sunday, September 23rd, he was honored at the Ravens game. Two of our students, Donald and Jordan, along with Mr. Don, had the honor to be there with Matthew when he got honored. Matthew has done a conversation with in the school before, and we hope he could do another this year. Thank you for your service, Matthew. We wish you a happy Friday. For our final story, the biology class had a CSI lab on Tuesday. They got to learn how clouds are formed and try to manipulate a cloud formation inside a soda bottle. They used a soda bottle, a fizz keeper, and a temperature strip. Thank you for coming in and doing this lab for us, CSI. We can't wait to see you again.
That wraps up this week's edition of TCS News. I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Thank you for watching.
And have a great day.